Hey everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're all getting spoiled out there, and if you're not in a relationship, don't worry, that's not a bad thing. I'm happily single, I'm glad to say, and you can always fill your life with love. All you have to do is look around you. Nature is where I feel most connected. If you feel you don't have anything in your life that you can love, then please think again. Love starts from within. I know it's an old cliche, but the old saying is true. It's an inside job. So today is the first part of my free question and answers series. And I wanted to start today with a quite a poignant question that somebody wants me to answer for them. So I'll read it out for you. I know they'll be listening and I know they've been waiting for this. So hopefully it'll do them justice. So a lady wrote to me a while ago actually, and she's put, I've just been listening to your recent Facebook video and I think what you're offering to people is truly wonderful and deeply generous of you. Well, thank you. And I would so love to tell you that I've found a way and have healed and moved on from what I wrote to you about back in November. But the truth is that having met with the same person at a professional event, I stupidly allowed him back through the door. In comparison to previous times, I didn't let him nearly as far back in my life, but nonetheless, she's let him back in and feels she's taken a step backwards in her healing, in the healing process of her letting him go. After a long talk with him last week, he finally told me that he couldn't leave his wife, as he just didn't have the courage or the strength to do so. And he also doubted his ability to live with himself if he were for him to get a divorce, basically. Having an affair with this man was not an option for me, so I very sensibly and courageously asked him for complete distance until we had to meet again later in the year at another unavoidable professional encounter, and he agreed to do so. My lady writes, I'm so afraid of getting myself into a boomerang kind of situ with him and really want to use the distance I now have to work with myself and understand why I keep letting him into my heart, mind and soul, and to find a way of not allowing this to happen in the future. I strongly believe that I need to grieve the loss of what could have and might have been, to forgive myself for the mistakes I've made, to learn from these mistakes, heal and move on so that I can get to have the life that I'm supposed to have, meet the people I'm supposed to meet, and do the things that I'm supposed to do. I would be so grateful for your help, Anne-Marie. Okay, well, let me see if I can help you. Okay, so there are a couple of things that jump out to me there, and there's a lot of should've, would've, could've and supposed to's, and it's quite negative language to say to yourself that I should have had this life, or I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to do that, because with those words this might be different if you've propelled yourself forward, but if you're in a stuck situation and you're telling yourself should have, supposed to do this and I should have done that and I regret and I need to grieve the loss of what could have been, then how long are you prepared to do that for? If you feel that that's what you need to do to heal, literally set a time frame on how long you're going to give yourself to grieve over this. Are you going to grieve for a year? Are you going to grieve for the next 10 years? Or are you going to grieve for the next 10 days? The choice is yours. It's literally what you're telling yourself. So how long are you going to keep telling yourself that you're grieving over the loss of what could have been? Because who knows what could have been? What could have been is actually a fantasy. It wasn't reality. So maybe take a realistic point of view, because it's actually the fantasy that can make you feel worse, actually. In your head, we all create these fantastical ideas about how a relationship could have turned out, or how a relationship will turn out. And quite often it is just a fantasy. You know, reality is that drudgery can set in, day-to-day life can set in. They start leaving their underpants on the floor and you get annoyed and think, what the hell have I, let myself in for here? So look at the realism of what's been happening over the last several years. If you want to grieve over that. Grieve that that it's not there, that actually you're moving on to something new. Think about and really dwell on what you have learned from this experience. Everything, especially relationships, are our biggest opportunity for growth, because they teach us so much about ourselves. So what have you learned about yourself from this? Forget this guy. Take him out of the equation. Don't start to blame this guy for putting you through anything. Don't do that at all. He was just a participator in your play. You gave him the script and he read it back to you. So he read back to you all the things that you think about yourself, that you think about life, you think about relationships, and you think about love. So ask yourself, what has this mirror shown you what you think about life, love, and yourself? Also, what meaning do you put on this relationship? What meaning do you give this relationship? What meaning have you given this guy that's not there now? What meaning have you given this lack? Because nothing means nothing until we put meaning on it. So what meaning have you attached to this situation? What are you telling yourself this means about you? What are you telling yourself it means about your life and what's in store for you? Quite often it can be quite negative, but maybe, judging by your email, it's not going to be for you, and you've decided to switch it around to a positive. What did this guy bring to your life? What did you love about him? When you say you felt it on a soul level, that's beautiful. What did he bring to your soul? Because what he brought to your soul, you need to bring to you. Okay, it could be that you've suppressed an energy in you that he brought to you, that you've attached to because you've suppressed it. You need more of it. You need to find it in yourself. So if he brought laughter to you, let's just say, for instance, if he lit up your soul because he brought love and laughter and light and laughter to you, then that's what you need to balance out in your energy. That's what you need more of. That's what you need to do more of. So relationships can be just the perfect opportunity for growth. There are so many dynamics to a relationship. Quite often than not, we bring our past into our future relationships. So have a look at how you treat yourself what's the relationship like that you have with yourself, basically. I've been single for many years and it's been the best experience of my life, because my relationship experiences all turned out the same way, because I hadn't done the work on myself. I could not have a relationship with myself. So for the last several years, that's what I've been doing. I've been working on myself, figuring out myself, being with myself, getting to know myself, getting to love myself eventually. And when you really, really start to fall in love with life, when you really, really start to fall in love with who you are on the inside, then that's what you will project on the outside. If you keep having a relationship where there's lack, where there's distance, where there's unavailability, that's what you're giving to yourself. Okay, life is a mirror. People are a mirror. They're just mirroring back to you your deepest, darkest feelings. If you've suppressed anything in yourself, it will show up in other people. It will project. And these people will bring to you that which you're trying to suppress in yourself. So the first point of call is to give yourself a time frame, how long you want to mull over this relationship. I would say really focus on the future. So when you think about this relationship, you'll have a mental equivalent of that. You'll get an image, you'll get a feeling, etc. When you think about your loss, let's say, how you've put it, get a mental equivalent of how you want your life to look. Don't have just a mental image of how life has been or should have been or could have been, and like you've missed the boat. That's not true. Once you figure out what this relationship was trying to tell you about you, and you do the work within you, and you love you, you will project that out into the world, and that will match your frequency. Once you do that to yourself, the next person that walks into your life has to match your frequency for you to be in a relationship with them. Otherwise, you'll say, no, you're not for me. If they match your frequency and your frequency resonates at love, unconditional love, that's what you will get. And that takes work, it takes commitment. But it takes for small steps as well. So don't feel that it's impossible, because it's certainly not. So grieve for a short period of time. Please set yourself, I know you can do this, set yourself some mental imagery, the mental equivalent of what you want your life to look like. And when you think about that, get that feeling with it. I know you know this stuff, get that feeling. And when that element of doubt comes in, that's okay, let it go. Just fill it back up with this positive imagery and positive affirmations. If you feel you can't do that, then we need to go deeper and do some work around your limiting beliefs on it. I hope that's helped, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon. Bye bye.